Hello everyone, welcome to EL 102 class. We are the group 4 and we are here to discuss with you the week 5 topic which entitles Functions in the Sentence. I am Trisha Mae Carriedo, your reporter for today. The first topic is categories, phrases, and functions. Let's start! What is a grammatical category? It is a word with little meaning which includes determiner, quantifier, auxiliary, coordinator, and complementizer. The various kinds of grammatical categories include the following: number, definiteness, tense, and aspect, case, person, gender, and mood. What is a lexical category? A word with lexical meaning such as a noun, verb, adjective, adverb, and preposition. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs are open lexical categories. In contrast, closed lexical categories rarely acquire new members. They include conjunctions, for an example are and or but, determiners which includes a or the, pronouns which includes he, she, or they, and prepositions which includes the words of, on, and under. Next is the word praise. What is a praise? A group of related words centered around a head such as noun praise, verb praise, prepositional praise, adjective praise, and adverb praise. But it is not a complete sentence. In other words, it does not have both a subject and a verb. Phrases and clauses have functions in the sentence. These are the main sentential functions. Subject. The subject is the noun or pronoun based part of a sentence. Next is the predicate. A predicate is the verb-based part of the subject performs. The third one is the complement. The complement is something that completes or perfects a sentence. In the grammar, it's a word or group of words that completes a grammatical construction. It includes the following: direct object, indirect object, subject predicate or the subject complement, object predicate or the object complement. A complement will provide greater detail about the subject. For an example, the soup tasted good. In this case, the soup is the subject of the sentence. Tasted is a linking verb to the adjective good, which describes more about the soups, which is the subject in the sentence. Subject complements can be a noun, an adjective, a single word, or a group of words that act like a noun or adjective, while the object predicate is an adjective, noun phrase, or prepositional phrase that qualifies, describes, or renames the object that appears before. The last sentential function is the adverbial or the adverbial phrase. An adverbial phrase is also referred to as an adverb phrase. It is a multi-word phrase that takes the role of a verb in a sentence. An adverb describes a verb, adjective, or even another adverb. A multi-word adverbial phrase can further modify an adjective, adverb, and verb. The name of the phrase that performs the function and the function itself must be kept separate. In the first sentence, it states that you're always giving. My therapist said. My therapist is an NP or noun phrase. It is functioning as the subject of the sentence. The second sentence is, you have to learn how to take. You is an NP or noun phrase. Pronoun, which is you, functioning as the subject of the sentence. Before we proceed, let us first analyze the sentence and identify the nouns, verbs, determiners, the adjective, the adverb, the phrases, the subject, the predicate, and the adverbial. Whenever you meet a woman, the first thing you do is lend her your books. In the sentence, whenever you meet a woman, the first thing you do is lend her your books. The nouns in the sentence are the words you, woman, thing, you, her, and books. The verbs in the sentence are the words meet, do, and lend. The determiners in the sentence are the words a or a, the, and your. While the adjective in the sentence is the word first, but first can also be considered as an adverb. While the adverb in the sentence is the word whenever. The division inside the sentence is what we called the phrases. Again, let's analyze and identify the sentential functions in the sentence given. Whenever you meet a woman is an adverbial. The first thing you do is the subject. Is lend her your books is the predicate. Lend her your books is a subject predicate. Let us now proceed to our second topic, which entitles 3 diagnostic tests for subjects. The 3 diagnostic tests for subjects are: subjects invert in yes or no questions. Second, subjects agree in a number with the verb or the auxiliary verb. 3 subjects are repeated in tag questions. Let us talk about the inversion in yes or no questions. In an inverted question, the subject and the first verb of the verb phrase are inverted when that verb is either a modal or an auxiliary verb, or with the verb be and sometimes have. Let us first invert the first sentence. You think she'll have to see you again in order to return them? In inverted sentence, do you think she'll have to see you again in order to return them? In the second diagnostic test for subjects, agreement in number between the subject and verb or auxiliary verb. Subjects and verbs must agree with one another in number, or singular or plural. Thus, if a subject is singular, its verb must also be singular. If a subject is plural, its verb must also be plural. Let's read the sentence. She's afraid if she sees you again. You'll expect her to talk about them and will want to lend her even more. This sentence, they are afraid if they see you again. As you can see, the pronoun used is plural as well as the verb. Now, let us proceed to the third diagnostic test for subjects, the tag questions. A tag question is a constituent that is added after a statement in order to request confirmation or disconfirmation of the statement from the addressee. Often, it expresses the bias of the speaker toward one answer. So let us read the given examples. The first example is, so she cancels the date. The tag question is, so she cancels the date, doesn't she? The second example is, you end up losing a lot of books. The tag question here is, you end up losing a lot of books, don't you? Let us now proceed to the 2 types of subjects, the pleonastic and expletive. They are also known as a dummy pronoun. A dummy pronoun is used when a particular verb argument or preposition is non-existent. It could also be unknown, irrelevant, already understood, or otherwise not to be spoken of directly. But when a reference to the argument, a pronoun is nevertheless syntactically required. For example, in the phrase, it is obvious that the violence will continue. It is a dummy pronoun, not referring to any agent. Unlike a regular pronoun of English, it cannot be replaced by any noun phrase. Let us define the 2. Pleonastic describes superfluous words. Example, there are whole blocks of New York where no one lives. The pleonastic pronoun in the sentence is the word there. The expletive A word that carries no meaning but has a grammatical function in a sentence. Example, it started to rain a few minutes ago. The expletive pronoun in the sentence is the word it. Now, I will let you analyze the sentences by the book entitled Lending Out Books by Hal Sirowitz. Now, let us identify where are the subjects here in the given sentences. That's all for today. I hope you learned something. Thank you and God bless.
Hello everyone, my name is Rance Jaron and I am here to continue what Miss Trisha Carriedo started. So, let's get going. Functions in sentences. Direct objects, or DO for short. Direct objects are sisters to the verb and can be pacified. So, here is an example. I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox. On the right side of the slide, you can see the breakdown of the direct object. Example. As I have said before, direct objects can be pacified. So, passivization refers to the process of turning a sentence from an active voice into a passive voice. On the left side is an active voice. I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox. Can be passivized into the plums that were in the icebox have been eaten. In this example, can you find another direct object? Let me give you 5 seconds. Okay, if your answer is box, then you're correct. Let us now move on to the subject predicates. So, what are subject predicates? Subject is what or whom the sentence is all about, while predicates tell something about the subject. Simple as that. We also have object predicates. Object predicates are often realized by an adjective phrase, a noun phrase, or a prepositional phrase. An object predicates also modifies the object of a sentence. Here are some examples. She painted the house purple. The underlined word is an adjective phrase functioning as an object predicate. The second one, Jenny considers Pride and Prejudice a classic. The underlined word is a noun phrase functioning as an object predicate. It also modifies Pride and Prejudice. For the last one, she put dinner on the table. The underlined words is a prepositional phrase functioning as an object predicate. Can you find an object predicate in the given example? Let me give you again 5 seconds. Okay, if your answer is get out of my apartment, then you're correct because it is a prepositional phrase. Here are more examples of object predicates. Let us now proceed to indirect objects, or IO for short. Indirect objects are always realized by noun phrase. I gave $25 to Ricky. So, indirect objects can also be pacified. Ricky was given $25. Third one, indirect objects can be preceded by the word to or for. He sang a song for me. So, the indirect object in this example is the word song. The last one, indirect objects can also be moved. We also have something we call complements, and here are they. For my last topic, we will now be discussing about 6 categories of verbs. We have transitive, intransitive, detransitive, monotransitive, complex transitive, and copular verbs. For the first 2 categories of the verbs, we will be using the verb to run. Please take note, transitive verb requires an object to receive the action, while intransitive verb does not. So, in the example of the transitive verb, the show is the object, while in the example of the intransitive verb, it doesn't have an object. For the transitive verb, here is our example. He gave her the letter. The letter is the direct object. This is what he gave, while her is the indirect object. This is the person he gave it to. For the fourth one, we have the monotransitive verb. The example is, I rode the bike. Since monotransitive verbs only addresses one object, the verb in this example is the word rode, while the object is the word bike. Another category is the complex transitive verb. Complex transitive verb requires both a direct object and another object, or an object complement. So, here is our example. During the night, leprechauns painted the barn green. As you can see, the underlined word is the verb, which is painted, while the word barn is our direct object and the leprechauns as our subject. For the last one, we have the copula verb. Copula verb is a special kind of verb used to join an adjective or noun complement to a subject. So, our example is, Peter is my boyfriend. The copula verb in this example is the word is, because it assumes that Peter and my boyfriend are the same person. There you go, guys, that is our topic. We hope that you learned something new today, and always wear your face mask, face shield, and keep safe, everyone.